Family, welcome back to my channel. My name is Shay and this is Goofball and Crony Productions. Sorry guys, it's just funny that every time I start this video the wind gets really really strong and it's blowing into the earphone. Anyways, as I was saying, welcome back to my channel. Those of you who are new to my channel, thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. I really do appreciate it. And those who share my videos, again, I really do appreciate it. Along with the ones who like and comment. Thank you so much. I ask you continue to share my videos, with your friends, your family, your grandparents, whoever in your family or your circle that watches YouTube. I ask that you share my video. Yeah. So, I was supposed to drop a reaction video a couple of days ago, but it was a very hard couple of days for me as me and my family laid my uncle to rest. And it was rough. It was very rough. So yeah. So today I'm not gonna do much talking unless I'm reacting to the video. I'm just gonna, Anyways, so this video we're gonna do something a little bit different. Instead of scary and spooky, we're gonna be doing something from Fancy Banana. As you can see, the title, it says 20 pets that ate their owners. This, this should be interesting. This should be very, very interesting, guys. So, without further ado, we're gonna get into this. This video, let me say this. As I always say, I do not own the rights to this video. I'm using it through fair use, educational wise, entertainment wise. I'm bringing it to those who have not seen it. Whereas you can go over to the Fancy Banana. They have a lot of good stuff. Also, the Amazing Elite. I always call these people out because their videos are dope and I react to them. So it's only fair that I mention them in the video. So this is taken from the Fancy Banana. So you could go over there, like, subscribe to their channel, check their stuff out. They have a lot of good stuff, and then you could come back over and do the same thing here. Alright, so without further ado, let me just make myself small so you guys can see what's going on in this video. I don't want to make myself too small, but yeah. Alright, I think that's good. Alright, so let's get into this.
Well, today we certainly have a treat for you. Nothing expresses a pet's love for their owner quite so much as when they eat them, does it? We've collected some of the worst and grossest stories of people who wound up on the wrong side of their pets and put them here for your enjoyment. Now don't say I've never done anything for you. From a woman who was attacked by an inappropriate camel to a guy who was consumed by his lizards, here are 20 pets that ate their owners. Number 20. Sharla Nash and Pet Chimpanzee. Back in 2009, a chimpanzee named Travis attacked a friend of his owner and left her with life-changing injuries. The chimpanzee had lived with a couple in Stamford, Connecticut, where he had become a local celebrity and went everywhere with his owners. Then a series of tragic events hit the family, and the chimp briefly escaped. That's when his behavior became erratic. One day, a friend by the name of Sharla Nash, who had been known to the chimp for years, was visiting the family home. The chimp had taken his owner's car keys, and Nash was trying to retrieve them by offering the animal his favorite toy. He suddenly attacked Nash, virtually ripping her face off. His owner hit him and then stabbed him with a knife to stop the attack. She thought that her friend Sharla Nash was actually dead. When the police arrived, the chimpanzee attempted to get into the car, but finding it locked, he smashed a window. That's when the police would shoot him multiple times, and the chimp then died. Nash had to have extensive facial surgery. Almost all the bones in her face were broken. Her eyelids, nose, jaw, lips, and a large part of her scalp had been ripped off, and she was blind and had lost one hand and part of another. Chimpanzees are known to display aggressive behavior towards people and can sometimes attack them, even if they seem to be relatively tame. The thing is that chimpanzees are kind of unpredictable and also have a bunch of different behaviors that can show up unexpectedly at any time. Even if they appear to be docile one moment, they can turn the next. You know, kind of like all animals, including humans. A chimpanzee attack can be sudden and super violent, and they're especially prone to attack if they perceive a human to be a threat or even a rival. And sometimes they may simply attack because they're annoyed. Humans can be super annoying, you know.
Okay. So, why didn't she just leave him with the keys? Or why didn't she allow the owner to get the keys from him instead of her? I'm pretty sure that he thought she was approaching him aggressively and he reacted. I'm just saying, because if they work with him a lot and he was never aggressive before, her. All right, so let's talk about this a little bit. Animals have a very hypersensitiveness to energies. Okay, they can sense energies from a mile coming, whether it's positive, whether it's negative. You know, they can sense it. Dogs, cats, any type of animal that have hypersensitivity, they can sense when somebody is not friendly, when somebody is not positive, when they feel threatened. I believe that he probably felt threatened. She probably approached him in the wrong way and he just snapped. There's a lot of things that could have happened here, but wow, damn. He ripped her face off, took a hand, and the other hand looked kind of deformed as well. So it looks like he probably did that too. Whew! Remind me never to mess with a chimpanzee.
Chimpanzees are very strong and they have really sharp teeth, and that means that an attack on a human can cause some serious damage and even death. Before we go on, like this video, smash the subscribe button, and click the notification bell right now, or this centipede will crawl on your face when you're sleeping.
Come on.
Now it's time for the fancy topic. Here we have a picture of a guy with an enormous snake. We're told that he was living in Thailand with his massive pet python when he was accidentally eaten by it. I mean, maybe the snake meant to eat him. The guy probably didn't intend to be eaten by a snake because, you know, very few people do. So it was most likely an accident on his part. But who could possibly say? I mean, this is just a picture of a guy with a snake, and in this image, he's still on the outside of said creature, so who knows what his fate actually was? What do you think is going on here? And do you even care? As always, let me know all your thoughts in the comments section down below using the hashtag #FancyTopic.
This is why you don't mess with snakes. Their mentality and mood changes are so split second that it's best just not to mess with snakes. People keep them as pets. I don't think I would ever keep a snake as a pet. Ever. Never. I don't know about you guys, but people who keep exotic animals like snakes and spiders, like black widow spiders or tarantulas. Yeah.
Number 19. Family members find dogs eating owner's body inside Philadelphia home.
What?
In a horrific story from Philadelphia, the police were called to the scene of a death of a man. He was seen through the window of his home. Well, his body was seen, and it was being eaten by 3 big dogs. The police and firemen would show up, rather wisely deciding, it would seem, that they would wait for animal control before they attempted to enter the building. When animal control did arrive, they removed each dog one by one. There were a pair of 10-month-old Cane Corso Bull Mastiff mixed and their mother, and despite the initial reports that would suggest that the dogs were responsible, it would be later confirmed that their 67-year-old owner had actually died of natural causes, and the dogs were starving as a result of their owner being dead. And so they ate him in order to survive. The dogs had absolutely destroyed the house as they looked for food because it had been days since they had been fed. Dogs usually will not eat their owners with such enthusiasm. This, however, was a desperate act. Unlike cats, those psychos are literally waiting for their owners to die just so they can devour them.
Why do people always have bad things to say about cats? I'm a cat lover, so I'm both cat and dog. But damn. I mean, I don't know if would would these animals be put down given the circumstances, or would they be? I don't know, because the saying is, so long as an animal tastes human blood, or human flesh, they continue to, I don't know. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if that's something that's accurate. That's something I would probably have to look up and see. But I mean, come on. The owner died of natural causes. God knows how long he was in there dead. And those dogs, they couldn't get out. They couldn't call for somebody to help. And they were hungry. Obviously, probably the food that the owner keeps is probably canned food or food in a bag or something. He probably has it put up and they probably couldn't find it. So so pets. Damn.
Number 18. Pet python kills 2-year-old in Florida. Owning a dangerous animal as a pet is a risky business, but there is a certain amount of additional responsibility that should be involved if you decide to keep a deadly pet in your home along with a small and vulnerable child. This is the devastatingly sad story of a python that killed a toddler, and it looks as though the adults should have taken care of her were guilty of extreme negligence. A Burmese python had been kept by this couple in a tank which had no real lid but had a quilt draped over the top instead.
Really?
The python also had not been fed in some time and was hugely underweight, and it seems that, as it was starving, the snake had escaped, easily no doubt, and then strangled the child in her bed and attempted to eat her. The couple were charged with third-degree murder, manslaughter, and child neglect, and they were then sentenced to 12 years in prison each. Number 6.
I've seen people with kids have their kids literally laying down on these snakes, laying down on them, petting them, and I mean like kids as 2-3 years old, and they're just comfortably laying down on snakes. I think that's something that should not happen. Like, if you got a kid and you have a snake that could potentially be a very dangerous snake, again, snakes are very unreliable, very unreliable. No, that's not the word I'm looking for. They're very that's not your food. Give me a second, guys. Go eat your food. Go. Anyways, right. Sorry about that. My cat, one of them, always eats the other's food when he has a whole lot of food in his bowl. Anyways, as I was saying, and these people have their kids sleeping on these massive snakes, and I think that they should not be doing that. Snakes are very temperamental, very unpredictable. That's the word I was looking for. Very unpredictable, and you really shouldn't trust your kid on a snake. Damn. Look at this poor kid lost his life all because they didn't even have a lid on the aquarium. Are you crazy? You have a deadly snake living in an aquarium, and all you have over it is a quilt or whatever they say it was covered with. Are you mad? And have a young child in it. Oh, Jesus, these people.
17. Norman and Siberian Tiger. Beautiful, mysterious, and beloved, tigers are the biggest of all the big cats and are also amongst the most dangerous beasts in all of the animal kingdom. But the thing is with tigers that they are massive, fast, and have a lot of really pointy things that they're not afraid to use. Their claws each measure 4 inches, and their teeth are 3 inches long and presented in a huge and extremely powerful jaw. The perfect combination for doing a lot of violent dining. Although tigers don't favor humans for their dinner, there are a whole bunch of reasons that these scary animals are more frequently getting into a man-eating situation. However, if you happen to keep these big cats as a pet, then you're putting yourself in a bit of a potential man-eating situation yourself. And that seems to be what happened with this guy named Norman from Ontario. He apparently collected wild animals and kept them behind his farmhouse, but when he went out to feed the 650-pound tiger in its pen, it attacked and killed him. Seems kind of obvious, really, but then again, there you go. Number 16. Australian woman killed by amorous camel. Camels are generally not really considered to be brilliant pets. They're pretty bizarre looking as an animal, and let's face it, they're not exactly...
That's a nice way of saying they're dumb. That's a pretty way of saying dumb.
known for their impeccable manners, but then again, they are fairly hardy and have some pretty good adaptations for survival. They are adapted to eat in such a way to help them survive in times of drought. Camels store fat in their humps, so when food is on short supply, they have this clever storage system.
Dude, they spit on you. If you don't be careful, they spit on you.
System as a backup, and their hump will shrink as they use up the store. If a camel is starving, then its hump will shrink and even slide off of its back and onto its side. It will then return and firm up again when it's been fed and has had a good rest within a few weeks. But this adaptation means that camels are able to survive harsh conditions and have been known to survive for several months without even drinking water. But even with all of those credentials, camels are still jerks. And this particular camel was especially bad. Given to Pam Weaver as a 60th birthday present by her husband, Noel, this camel ended up the exotic animal-loving owner. The 10-month-old 150-kilo camel seems to have knocked Pam over and tried to mate with her. She then died in the process. And apparently this was not the first time that the animal had attempted inappropriate relations with another species, because he had a history of this sort of behavior with other animals, which included the family's pet goat. But then again, should people be keeping horny camels as pets? Well, you tell me in the comments section down below. Number 15. Temperamental pet bull kills owner in Pennsylvania. In general, when an animal is mostly known for being required to have a warning sign or for its famous goring skills, then it's a fairly strong indicator that it's not going to make the perfect pet. But I'm beginning to see that some people insist on keeping the most dangerous of animals as pets, and many of them suffer the consequences of that poor decision making. Like this guy in Pennsylvania. Ricky Weinhold was attacked and by a pet bull in an outdoor pen where he leased space on a farm about 60 miles outside of Philadelphia. Despite multiple warnings from the farm owners about how the bull was dangerous and that Ricky should get rid of it, he didn't really listen. In fact, the bull had attacked Ricky the previous summer in an incident that had broken several of the man's ribs. So, in the end, the bull did its worst, and Ricky was crushed to death by his one-ton pet. Number 14.
Yo, I never understood why, where do these people do this? I don't want to call the wrong state or country, but anyways, I never understood why they would loose. They would have like people just gathering around, and then they would just let go the bull and let the bull do its thing. I would consider that attempted murder on a lot of people's lives because, like, let me turn because the wind is getting pretty loud, pretty windy. I never understood why they do this. Why do they let go the bull in a city? Then you gotta be running for your life, hoping that this bull does not, attack you and fling you up in the air and do all sorts of foolishness that bulls normally do. I don't know why people do it. I find it very, I don't know, dangerous. It's one thing being in the what do you call it? It's one thing being in the, I'm gonna just call it a ring for now because I can't remember what it's called, and it's doing its thing with just one guy, but to literally loose a bull in the city where there are hundreds of people, and then these people gotta run for their lives. It's a bit, they call it entertainment, but I call it premeditated murder. Premeditated murder. Premeditated attempted murder. What? Anyways, let's continue. Are these pigs? Oh, actually, pigs are known to eat anything. So,
Farmer eaten by his own hogs.
yeah,
It is very well known that pigs will eat anything, and
Exactly.
everything actually, except for dentures.